Hello and welcome to The Exchange, your RealtyMogul resource for 1031 market intelligence and education. I'm Steve Haskell, Vice President at RealtyMogul, and this is the first video in a four-part series discussing the various assets that make up a diversified real estate portfolio. In this episode, we discuss the truth behind triple net properties, where we take an honest look at buying and managing triple net real estate. Over the past decade, the popularity of triple net properties has surged. When I talk about triple net properties, I mean single-tenant commercial properties like Walgreens, O'Reilly Auto Parts, CVS, Fresenius dialysis centers, and Home Depots. Properties of that nature, usually with leases that range 10 to 15 years. I can't tell you how many 1031 exchange buyers have called me asking about triple net properties. I ask them what makes them interested in this asset class. These buyers are usually looking to get out of active property management, the dreaded 3 T's of real estate: tenants, toilets, and trash. But they're usually unsure what to exchange into if they sell their current property that they've owned for often decades. We come to find out typically that their real estate agent has pointed them in that direction. And so now they're looking into it. The appeal of triple net properties lies in their passive structure. In a triple net lease, the tenant is responsible for maintenance costs, insurance, and property taxes. This arrangement means that in many ways, triple net properties appear to be completely passive investments. Investors don't have to worry about the usual headaches of property management. Additionally, many consider triple net properties to be an anchor type asset. So what do I mean by anchor? Simply put, these properties are seen as stable investments. When expenses and rents in the real estate market fluctuate due to market cycles, triple net properties theoretically maintain predictable and enduring income for the duration of the lease. These make them particularly attractive for conservative investors looking for stable income, especially those entering retirement. After I hear them out, I let them know that yes, triple net properties can be great passive investments until something goes wrong. If you want to buy a triple net property on your own, you need to be prepared to hold the tenant accountable if they decide not to honor the lease. And to be honest, we've seen it happen, even with big credit rated tenants. For instance, I have stories of clients whose tenants were frequently late in paying property taxes. So the landlords had to go take out a loan, pay the property tax, and hope that the tenant paid them sometime in the next few months. Others have told me how tenants left their buildings in disarray, with thousands of dollars in deferred maintenance that the tenant was supposed to handle. That forced the landlord to have to pursue legal options. These issues can turn a supposedly passive investment into a hands-on headache. Another point to consider is liquidity. Triple net properties are not as easy to liquidate as some might think. The price of the property directly correlates with the quality and duration of the lease. This means the property's value is usually the highest right when you buy it, and it decreases as the lease term shortens. If you need to sell quickly, you're likely going to have to take a loss. Then there are the negotiations at the end of the lease. A landlord should be prepared to enter tough negotiations with the tenant, especially if the tenant is a large credit-rated Fortune 500 company. I've heard stories from clients who were forced to agree to rents half of what they were when they initially purchased the property. The reason? The tenant leaves, the chances of replacing them with someone of equal or greater credit is very low, which would significantly decrease the property's value if they moved in a lesser tenant. Additionally, debt on the property introduces a myriad of additional complications. If you can't retain a tenant, the bank can foreclose. The bank often controls who occupies the building, meaning you can't just replace the tenant with anyone, but will likely need to be a tenant of equal or greater credit rating. Moreover, the bank can control the rent you charge. So a landlord may not be able to reduce rents to attract a tenant if the bank won't allow it. Finally, leases can be more complex than you think. Not all triple nets are created equal. There can be complicated caveats, buyout clauses, and other issues foreign to non-experienced triple net buyers. So you need to make sure that you hire someone that is experienced reading through those leases and can negotiate on your behalf. In closing, while triple net properties can offer stable and passive income streams, investors must be aware of the potential pitfalls. Thorough due diligence, careful tenant selection, and understanding the lease terms and market conditions are crucial. And thanks for listening. I'm Steve Haskell, and this is The Exchange, your RealtyMogul resource for 1031 market intelligence and education. We'll see you next time.